Get in the podcast, Chili.
I'm going to put my fingers in my eyes. What's up? It's Erico Blueberry, an unassuming Destiny podcast. We're just coming in already off the rails. My name is chillybin.
Oh, shit. It's me.
Introduce yourself to the people properly.
Fucking Meckii. Oh,
Thank
no.
you.
Meckii in it.
Yeah. Guess I know what's going on in your lower third. What's up? It's the end of the season. It's the final week. To put it in Evangelion title card terms, the dawn of the final week. Yep, that has been in both of our heads all fucking afternoon. Thank you for that.
You've got to have some Ava to accompany your cheeky mentee bee.
I don't know if that actually helps. I've only watched like Ava. I haven't watched any of the stuff that came after. None of the end of Ava. None of the movies. I don't know if I want to go back to that universe. I watched it once for the first time a couple of years ago when it first came out on when all of it came out on Netflix. I was like, yeah, now's the time to fucking sit down and watch Ava as a 30-year-old man. Finally.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. We've certainly moved on since then. Anyway,
I haven't.
Speaking of, I don't know, space robots, let's talk about Destiny 2.
Space bullshit.
Yeah, space bullshit and depression. Speaking of therapy and robots, yeah, final week of this season for Destiny 2. There was a little bit of story content when you boot up the game after reset.
Yeah.
Basically just said, hey, go to the helm. There's some sort of emergency communication. I got you to do it right before we started because you hadn't, and I wanted to talk about it. And if we waited, we wouldn't be able to talk about it because it'll be the new season. There's a lot of stuff coming up, which we'll get to. But big old callous head up in the helm's business.
Helm getting real nasty.
Yeah, someone needs to get in there and I want to see at this point the Destiny 2 Power Wash Simulator collab. Someone's got to get up in the helm and just spend 2 hours blasting that shit out.
Egregore is just a really aggressive black mold.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks that way. You got spores coming out. You breathe it in, you can walk through walls. What's not to like?
I don't know. Egregore's kind of interesting to me because obviously it's a mixture of I'm about to nerd out as a biology person. It's a mixture of obviously a mold and a fungi, but then
it is a fungi.
Then it's got elements almost of cordyceps.
What is that?
Cordyceps is the fungus that The Last of Us is based off of. So cordyceps is a type of fungus that infects insects and then takes control of the brain, and then after a period of time,
the brain parasite shit.
A mushroom grows out of the skull of the insect and then releases more spores. Usually they take it back to the colony and allows it to spread.
Yeah, that stuff rules.
Yeah, so when we were on the original missions, Presage?
Yes. Yeah, that was the first time we ever saw
that kind of
Egregore.
Introduced us to it. It kind of dabbled in the fact that, this thing is kind of infectious that. And I was like,
it's spreading. It's also darkness and it's
and
all that fun stuff.
Contaminating the Scorn and other things. But we can use it.
Yeah, by shooting the weird pod, and then we can
and inhaling
go through the wall. Yeah. What is that? We shoot it, it bursts spores out, and we're just yeah, let me get a whiff. I gotta go through the door now. What are we doing?
Just licking a black mold patch in your bathroom and going, woo!
Yeah, homie, let me sniff some glue. I'm about to jump off the wall. Now. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty sniffed some glue and jumped. What are we doing?
Yeah, so it's super interesting the way they've kind of combined a bunch of different kind of yucky to make one darkness yucky.
One yucky that feels at home in Destiny, which I'm kind of into.
Space yucky.
Yes, it is space yucky.
You haven't seen it, but The Expanse.
No, I haven't.
There's an infectious particle
Mm-hmm.
in the Expanse that kind of operates like that too.
Right.
That's interesting. Them being sci-fi nerds, I wouldn't be surprised if there was
they're
some...
pulling references from all over the fucking place. And it might be that the Expanse is based on a thing that Destiny's pulling from, or who knows. They're all massive nerds and there's heaps of them.
Yeah. They're my people. You like gross shit and space? Me too.
Come to the house of Meckii. But yeah, so we spawn in. The egregor's kind of broken out of where the Crown of Sorrows is into the main helm part where the war table is. It's kind of just fucking everywhere. You take like 5 steps forward and this big old fucking callous head appears and just starts yapping. Dude's got a lot to say.
And roasting us.
Yeah, a bit.
Homie's molding.
Yeah, he's not having a good time.
He's up in the copium.
Yeah. But
we beat him again. He's like,
it's pretty much just it's an extension of like what we had in that last 7 mission, right? Where it's talking, or like the last kind of couple weeks of that stuff, where he was talking about being the next disciple of the witness, the harbinger of the second collapse, I believe was the title that he gave himself. This definitely seems like they are setting Callus up to be another big threat, which is very interesting.
But also, at one point, he's like, hey, I'll let you in on a secret. The witness is going after the traveler. And I felt like being like, yeah, no shit, dickhead. We kind of knew. We kind of fucking knew that.
Yeah. But the language he used was different. Like, it was about... Did he use the word covet? It was something about, like, he wants it. Whereas in that cutscene at the end of the Witch Queen story, it felt more like he was trying to destroy it with the way he was speaking. Or it. They. I'm not sure what the pronouns are for the witness. I think it's it. But yeah, it feels... I'm not sure what the witness's goal is with the traveler at this point. Whether it's to capture or kill or eat. Maybe he's got a vor thing. It's the everlasting gobstopper. He just wants to chew on it for like 2,000 years.
He's gonna take it to a beach party.
He's gonna shelve it.
Beach ball. Oh, it's a big bead.
Yeah, he's gonna sit on it. He's eating it one way or another.
To me, Callus coming through and being like, "Hey, by the way, the witness is trying to get the traveler," kind of feels like a friend who is just set you up in a fight with someone you didn't know you were having a fight with and was chatting shit about you behind your back. And then 2 minutes before that person comes to punch you, they go, oh, by the way, Sarah's going to come and punch you.
Bro, meet me outside the bike sheds after school.
No shit.
Yeah.
Callus, you're not doing anyone a favor, Captain Obvious.
So that kid who
we done been you.
The kid who chats a lot of shit, you go to beat him up, and then he just tries to throw some other kid that you hate under the bus.
Yeah.
Did we have bad school experiences? I'm not sure what this is.
I was a loudmouth shithead. Surprise. Anyone who knows me would know that I quite often say the fucking wrong thing.
You say the thing people need to be told a lot of the time, I feel like.
I was the kid who said the wrong thing and blew up multiple science blocks across the 5 years I was in high school.
We're going to talk about this later, because I don't want you to incriminate yourself on the World Wide Web.
I got suspended for all of them, don't worry.
Okay, good. You've paid your dues. Anyway, Callus is chatting a bunch of shit. Has a bit of a go at us. Seems like he's goading us a bit. I'm not sure what the vibe is at the end of it, other than, man, can you just go away already? But the thing I have to keep reminding myself is, like, we've never truly fought Callus. Like, Leviathan was us fighting robot copies of him. We've never actually come face to face with him. So I don't know if we get to, now that he's a disciple of the witness and we've already killed one of those.
Maybe. Or has Callus just kind of always been kind of omniscient?
Just like a weird, like, shadow broker.
Like, just an entity.
Yeah.
Because, like, he uses those Callus bots. So it's like, who's to say he's a physical being? Do we know?
No, we don't. Law? Maybe Callus exists inside a ghost that is just, like, flying around space. And somehow has a bunch of robots. Callus is Shinji. He's in the robot. No. He's in the robot.
Get in the Leviathan. Shinji.
Fuck. Anyway.
Everything is Ava.
Yeah. Weirdly, you can figure that out, I think.
No.
Are you doing Orange Justice while you did that? Fuck. What are we doing? So that wraps up. You go talk to Zavala. He's like, Kellis, he's full of shit, essentially. And then he gives you a sparrow. And that's the end of the season.
And then we did that. And then Bungie said, hey, nerds. Heard y'all are excited for Arc 3.0.
Holy shit.
Opportune time just to fucking dump this out of nowhere.
Okay, so like a little peek behind the scenes for y'all at home. I'm going out of town this weekend. So normally we record on a Friday night or a Saturday, which means we've got access to the TWAB for that week. Tonight, it's a Thursday, so TWAB for us is out tomorrow morning. So I was fully expecting to come in here and just talk about like end of season stuff, what we're excited for, wrapping bits and pieces up, and then cool, relatively chill episode. And then I look at my phone this morning and Bungie's like, yo, you've heard of Void and Solar 3.0. What if we just told you what's coming with Arc 3.0 the day before the TWAB, the week before the showcase? You could just fucking have your fill now. You can get all excited. And man, am I pumped for Arc 3.0. Holy shit.
I'm pumped for Arc 3.0, but for me, the way they've dropped this is making me go like, something big is coming in this showcase, I think, other than the raid.
Yeah, they're talking about Lightfall, right?
Yeah, but they obviously don't want 3.0 to be overshadowed by other announcements.
Yeah.
So they're being like, here's a little, you may have a little bit as a treat.
Because last time they had a showcase, it was it was about Witch Queen and it was about Void 3.0 because that was coming at the same time. And I'm pretty sure they did a similar post for Void prior to the showcase.
It didn't feel as detailed though.
Ooh. Oh, I think it was actually. I'd have to go back and check, but because this is missing a lot of like the finer details about aspects and fragments and
which is stuff we always find out at reset anyway.
They've gone fairly high level while still putting some pretty specific stuff in there. But either way, like, man, there's a lot in here to like. I think every class is getting something pretty fucking rad. I think Arc Souls are now a pretty general thing for Warlocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that used to be what, top or bottom tree? It was one of the three.
Yeah.
But now they're just.
And then there was also a exotic that gives you an Arc Soul too.
Yeah.
You throw a rift down.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. I can't remember.
So they're.
I never fucked with anything other than Chaos Reach. So.
True. But just like, you know, they've talked a lot about these subclass reworks having. They're trying to hone in on what the theme should be of each subclass. So Void is like, you know, that kind of disruption, control.
Devour.
Soul is all like big explosions and burn effects. And then Arc, to quote them, is the whole W subclass. Like, just go forward. Keep moving. Yeah. It's all about mobility. It's about like, when you're in your super, chaining stuff to like keep it going, just keep the wheels turning.
There's going to be a whole intrinsic movement thing, which is just like you collect these things to move faster with a longer slide. Yeah. And then with certain aspects at the end of the slide, you can send an electric current out or... So it's just like, y'all think I was fucked? When I had Arc previously, wait until I get this Arc.
Yeah, and this is the thing that they kind of broke down, right? Like the way that Arc works today, you've got like a choice between 3 diamonds that give you 4 kind of essentially aspects or fragments or combination of the 2. And they're just breaking all of those apart for a class and saying, put them together how you want. Pick one of 2 supers, throw all this other stuff in there. And they do the work to make them a little more generic or abstract so that you can go, okay, I want some sort of chain lightning off my charged melee. I want chaos reach. I want a rift. Maybe that gives me an arc soul. Like you can chop and change all those bits that used to be separate. And this is the fun part, right? Is like getting that in your hands and then going, okay, what kind of fuck stuff can I do with that? Maybe now Fists of Havoc for a Titan is actually worth a look, because you're just constantly charging forward and smashing stuff. And I think one of the things I saw was like something about an Arc Titan build where sprinting forward gives you a shield in front of you. And that is fucking frightening.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah. And one, so okay, before we go any further, I have to shout out the king, Kevin Yanis. Man is back on Twitter, posting just the best shit of like, don't ever ask me for anything again.
He's channeling Harada, the creator of Tekken, whose like life motto is "Don't ask me for shit."
Yeah. Because
Stop asking me.
Essentially, to oversimplify a very complex thing that happened, a bunch of entitled nerds yelled at him about Twilight Garrison, a Destiny 1 exotic for Titans that gave you an airborne dodge. And they were like, bring this back. And he, using his power as a game designer for Destiny 2, his authority, he literally builds the systems that interact with this stuff, said, I'm never bringing that back. Because it's too much. Like, nothing has an airborne dodge. It's stupid. Like, it's way overpowered. It's oppressive. Like, totally fair. And what they're bringing back in Arc 3.0 for Titans is a ground-based version of that they're calling Thruster, which is, I think the way they described it was like double tap a direction and you get like a boost in that direction, like a dodge. And a lot of people are like, yo, that's basically Twilight Garrison, and everyone's saying you all need to go and apologize to Kevin now.
Yeah.
Like, homie has been working on this shit. Y'all just couldn't wait.
Yeah, that's it, right?
And it's good to see him back on Twitter, because like he's always had a really fun and open way of approaching conversations about Destiny and systems and exotics and all that stuff. But that's the other thing, is like Twilight Garrison was a chest exotic. They are giving this to us, this Thruster Titan dodge, as a class intrinsic, as an aspect or a fragment, or one of the two. So it's like, you're not burning an exotic slot just to get a dodge.
Exactly. I was literally about to be like, and to the people still complaining, you're not burning an exotic slot.
Yeah.
To do this one thing.
You could have Thunder Crash, Curus of the Falling Star to make that shit go boom real good, and a dodge.
Exactly.
What are you complaining about at this point? It's so good.
Y'all are being goofy.
I'm going to be a menace with Arc.
You're going to be goobs. Yeah, I was reading, I pulled it up just then because I needed a reminder. I was reading about the wall and I got Mr.
Sorry,
Burns.
I lost you for like a second there. You're reading about the what?
The warlock stuff.
Yes.
And I got like Mr. Burns hands where I was like,
yes.
Oh, you're gonna fucking hate me. Because I'm about to pair that with Yucky.
Oh, necrotic grips, yeah. Yeah, because they're talking about like making the chain lightning kind of do a bit more work, right? Yes.
So I can do what I do with Void and get double pops.
Yeah.
And chain things every which way.
Yes. And I think, I cannot remember what it is, but Arc Hunters are getting a second super.
Yes, good.
Do you have that up still?
Yes.
Can you
I was just going to quickly mention.
Others?
I was just going to quickly mention Lightning Surge for the Warlocks, which is at the end of a slide. You transform into a ball of lightning and teleport forward, and then when you exit, you bring down bolts of lightning that jolts procs jolt on the targets.
It's like, have you seen that Solar Titan thing where you do a slide, you leap up in the air and then come down with two hammers? Like, interacting with the slide into a melee is so interesting.
Y'all are about to get fucking sick of me.
Homie is doing a slide cancel into a ball lightning.
A slide cancel to show his ass.
Yeah. I think also Blink is coming in for everyone.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you've got it up. You tell me, because I am not looking at the the post, and I am just trying to remember what I read this morning while I was
I
drinking
don't
my
remember
coffee.
the blink thing, but
Blink is definitely in there as like I think something that is coming to other classes than just Warlock.
yeah. For the Hunter, the introduction of a brand new arc-themed super, the Gathering Storm.
That's it.
Here, the Hunter leaps into the air, hurling their staff into the ground or into an unlucky enemy, like a
javelin.
spear. Upon impact, the staff emits a damaging burst that jolts nearby enemies. Soon after, a giant bolt of lightning strikes the staff and overcharges it, creating a large damage zone around it for several seconds.
Dude, this sounds sick.
While overcharged, the staff sends out arcs of lightning to damage any enemies that move near it.
I'm playing a lot of Horizon Forbidden West at the moment. The idea of throwing spears and shit around and having that do lightning damage rules. Man.
I don't know about the blink thing.
Can you just like Control F blink for me real quick? Because I'm sure it was in there as a pretty general thing.
There's one about Arc Hunters.
Maybe might have been Hunters actually.
Getting the bloop. Yeah, it's all in reference to the Arc Hunters.
Yeah. Okay, so Blink is coming to Arc Hunters. Titans are getting a ground-based Twilight Garrison dodge.
Warlocks are getting an ionic blink behavior from the old Top Tree arc, allowing the Warlock to teleport briefly during the Stormtrance super.
Yeah. The other thing I'm interested to see, one of my favorite Hunter builds, is Liar's Handshake and chaining combination blow and just like left, right, arc, melee forever. I want to see what I can do with that, because that will just be like either an aspect or a fragment that I can just like whip in there. And what else can I put with that? Can I have this weird javelin bullshit? And that, I'm very excited. Like solo is fun, but I default to solar for my main, my Titan. So
Hemis for the demis.
But what it meant is like I didn't really have to venture too far out of my comfort zone to like fuck with Solar 3.0. This is a lot of stuff I want to try out in all three classes. I just want to like see what kind of cursed combinations I can come up with of like a Thunder Crash plus I don't know. Like this might not even be everything in the post.
Yeah, and then again, the stuff we roll in theory in this episode, when we actually get hands-on with it, might not work like we think it would. True. Or might not feel as great as we hoped it would. True. Or we might default to something else because we find that more enjoyable.
And like I said, I am right now in this moment trying to remember what I read this morning. It was like one of the first things I looked at. I didn't even look at work stuff. I was like, no, show me this Arc 3.0 shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
Very, very excited. And it's less than a week away. It's the thing I have to keep remembering.
It's so fun that they spoke to someone on Destiny whose surname is Humboldt. Like his name has the word bolt in it. Like, could you be any more perfect? We love you, Humboldt. Yeah, it's all very interesting. There were definitely, when I was reading through it, there were definitely ways where I was just like, oh, I'm about to get a lot more feral.
I'm really excited for the first round of Mayhem next season.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Time to bring back a sound effect you guys haven't heard from me in a few months, which is
I mean, look,
me going wow.
Goku's in fucking Fortnite now. We might as well put that motherfucker in Destiny with some upgraded chaos reach.
The good old fashioned wah in Deep Stone Crit. Well, Meckie's using Chaos Reach, and then you see the beam come flying past you.
The fucking THX sound kicks in.
It's like, oh, there goes Meckii.
Yes.
I'm just excited about
that's Arc, baby. All three done.
Being able to link the distanced melee, so the lightning bolt that you can send out, and then having that chain into a reaction. So you could simultaneously send that fucker over there and clean out ads back here while you're focusing on ads back. Boy. But now I'm about to become a lot more aggressive.
Now start to think about having Arc 3.0 interact with Void and Solar 3.0. Maybe you throw a bit of Void what is the right key word? The Titan one that lets you do extra damage. It's not weakness, disrupt. One of those.
I think so. We've got warlocks have suppress, weaken, and devour.
Yeah. But yeah, imagine combining some void stuff that chains based on kills, and Arc comes in and does a similar thing, and it's all just a big fucking mess.
Or the weaken aspect of Warlock Void stacked on top of the the maintained damage of some of those.
All I can think about is Thunder Crash. The only destination is Thunder Crash.
I need to make another one of those memes that someone made me back when Stasis came in, and they made me the Void is no longer my best friend, Stasis is now my best friend, and just photoshopped.
Every season it's a new one.
And it's just my Guardian in the middle. But yeah, Arc is probably going to come back into my regularly rotated subclasses. At the moment, it's mostly Void and Stasis. So
yeah, I think in addition to Mayhem, like first round Mayhem, the first week of the season is always a good time with this stuff because things might come in a little hot, a little broken maybe, need some tuning. And that's always fun. People like finding those edge cases where you can do like 1 million damage, say, in a single thing.
Warlocks and hunters at the race to break something as usual whenever something new comes out. Yeah. It's either a warlock or a hunter that breaks it.
An Arc hunter.
Bungie!
Arc
Bungie,
Arc Titan's just sitting there like, let me put a Thunder Crash on it. Will that break it?
Yeah.
Off.
Just Bungie. I broke it.
Yeah. Please blame Telesto.
Mine's broken.
But yeah, it's like Thursday currently for us, so we've got
a week,
less than a week until we get to fuck with this stuff. And the other thing, because I follow enough people that work at Bungie on Twitter, or it comes up on my timeline because of who I follow, a lot of people who work on seasonal content saying that this next season is some of the shit they're most proud of or that they're most excited for players to see. Not to like try and get expectations too high or anything, but them seasonal story writers do be hitting. And
my favorite thing at the moment from Bungie's staff is just them tweeting Bungie.
Yeah. What I've gleaned is that that's usually after some kind of like all hands company meeting where they're talking about like big picture stuff or what's coming in an upcoming season or yeah. It's usually followed by something pretty fucking cool. That's all I know.
I've seen a couple of the devs that I follow tweet Bungie and then just pride flags on after it, and I'm just like, oh, I feel like something big's happening internally in terms of diversity, and I'm really happy for the staff.
Yeah. But yeah, what a time to be playing Destiny 2. And if you are watching this for some reason and don't, give it a week and then jump in. It'll be a good time. I need to.
My friends who support the content but don't play Bungie. Don't play Bungie. Don't play Destiny. Come play.
Yeah, come hang out. We'll be your fire team.
We'll carry you through the starter stuff.
Yeah, we'll take you through the still kind of rough new player experience. Every like couple of months I see another post of that of like, hey, I just tried this for the first time and here's why it kind of sucks. It's not really well explained. So here's hoping
I hope you'll fucking like Europa.
Hope you like menus that are not explaining themselves well.
Because I like Europa.
Yeah. You want to go do patrols on Europa? I kind of do, actually. I need to do that for seasonal challenges.
The new player experience with me is just, so this is Varix, and then that's it.
Here
that's
all
you need to know.
Here are my weapons that I don't use in the vault. All my titles.
Here are all my in-game wives. That is all.
Yeah, that's a tour of the whole system at this point.
It's the soundbite of the hippo from Madagascar introducing all of his girlfriends, where he's like, "This is Petunia. We love Petunia. This is Stacy."
I either haven't seen that movie or do not remember that.
It's a pretty popular soundbite on like short form content. So.
Okay. Anyway, given that we're in the last week of the season, I've got a few things that I'm trying to
how's
fucking
dredging going?
cram in. I need to. Okay, so we've spoken about this before. I early in the season said I'm not going to leave dredge and guilding till the end of the season again. Guess what? Last week, not done. I need, I think, 7 match wins and 3 good company medals, which is not that much, but it just means most of this week is going to be Gambit for me. I'm pretty sure at this point I'm going to miss completing the seasonal challenges to get the big gift of Bright Dust, because I haven't kept up with it. Like, there's stuff in there about, like, you know, the seasonal machine gun weapon and getting the Crucible, the Gambit, the Vanguard skins. Those are usually pretty easy for me, but I just haven't played enough of those playlists to, like, reset the rank and then get back up to Legend. So there's stuff like that where I'm like, it's honestly fine. Like, all I'm missing out of that is Bright Dust, and oh well. Like,
I was gonna say this year as a whole, just as a clan and like the the core fire team that we tend to play with, we've actually more enjoyed a lot more abstract parts of the Destiny experience. Like, we're getting in and we're getting the lore done, but then I'm finding a lot of us are doing dungeons,
yeah,
or Nightfalls,
yeah,
or a lot of Gambit. I think a lot of us have played a fair bit of Gambit this season too, even
Yeah.
without the intent to get the title.
yeah.
We've just organically, just our group activity this season has been Gambit or Mayhem when it rolls around.
I think too, like, a fair number of us have been playing less.
Yeah.
I know I've switched jobs. I know other people have, like, switching jobs in our little group. And I mean, as much as maybe parts of it shouldn't be the case, like, we're able to go out and do stuff a bit more. And so we are. Whereas the last couple of years, it's been like, I'm going to stay inside.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I haven't been able to see my family for 2 years, so I kind of want to get
Yeah.
some time in with them.
Yeah.
And friends.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a combination of, you know, what you were describing, and also just having less time in the game total.
And that's okay, because we're adults.
Of course. Yeah.
And there's other games to play too.
Yeah, believe me,
We've been playing other games too.
Destiny 2 should not be your top priority no matter who the fuck you are.
It should be Power Wash Simulator.
I'm here to talk to you about Windows Solitaire.
Have y'all heard of Base Pinball?
Sorry, do you mean Windows XP Classic 3D Space Cadet Pinball?
Yeah.
Bruh. Actually, so
Welcome to the Church of Minesweeper.
in our office, we have both an incredibly intense Mario Kart syndicate and a Demolition Man pinball machine. Sometimes we write software. A lot of times that software is to track our Mario Kart progress.
Yeah. Look, oddly enough, in the last few months, I've gotten enough new starters in the company who play Destiny 2 that I'm like,
get a little company raid going.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. There's a guy at work who I know plays Destiny that I'm honestly afraid of being like, hey, how seriously do you take this game though?
Yeah, but one of the people who plays Destiny at my work is my manager. The other one is HR.
That's a bad time.
And I say some pretty scuffed shit in my free time.
That is a, like, nightmare blunt rotation. That's what that is.
I don't think HR and my manager want to casually hear about my mental breakdowns in a voice.
Could you imagine? You're just casually joking about fucking having an episode while on edibles or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think after a weekend in a voice chat with me, none of my coworkers would be able to look me in the face.
Or they might just have a lot more respect for you. I'd be like, damn, where was all of this? You don't bring this to the workplace? Being high on drugs?
I just sit in the corner like a goblin, do my work and go home.
Before we dox ourselves any further, how's your end of season looking? You trying to finish anything this week or just chilling?
Just usual pigeon bullshit again.
Yeah.
Logging in when something's available on Bright Dust that I want. Going and looking at the moon.
Yep. Classic.
picking up Banshee bounties and not finishing them.
I'm so selective about bounties at this point. I look at it, I'm like, if it's not submachine gun, hand cannon, or machine gun, I'm not touching it, because that's just my build this season.
Go and get my Zavala bounties. Maybe do them.
Do 3 strikes and hope for the best, yeah. Classic.
I've been playing a lot of Gambit, oddly enough. I've been just having a real fun time bullying people in Gambit with Xenophage and Galahorn and Chaos Reach. Like, just having a real fun time ruining some random man, like, who's probably in Tasmania. Destiny 2's all he's got. And I just come in with my fucking goblin helmet on and my Varix coat, calling myself the pimp goblin, and just chaos reaching them out of 15 emotes. Like,
actually.
Or ruining the fact they're about to take down their primeval and just disappearing into the night. Like, goodbye.
Speaking of Gambit and ruining things, they're changing how they're getting rid of Invader Tracker as an origin perk on weapons.
Oh no.
Which is actually something I really, really like using, is a scout rifle or an auto rifle in the kinetic slot, where if I hit an enemy invader, it tags them so my teammates can see it. Like, very specific to Gambit, but very fucking useful in Gambit. And you only get it on Gambit weapons, and they're getting rid of it. And I'm kind of sad about it, because it's a way to manage invader callouts without needing voice comms. So if you're playing freelance Gambit with people you're not in a team with, kind of handy.
You just dink them.
Yeah, I just do it to be a good team player, right?
I think some of my favorite Gambit comms is hearing someone invade and then just me going, got him.
Yeah. That is actually,
Gambit on rig, don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, when like all of us are running Xenophage and one person is like, invader at trees, and then you hear all of the Xenophage claps go. When you hear all the Xenoclaps, and then you're just like, oh, invader down. Cool, thanks, Drifter. I'm out. Back to moats. Yeah. So good.
Or you hear me invade, and I'm just giggling to myself wildly, and then army of one comes
up. I know.
Just like, tee.
Yeah. My favorite thing about you getting an army of one is when the Drifter tells me about it before you do. The Drifter's like, your invader's back, and they got 4 kills. It's like, Meckii, what'd you do? I came back as quick as I could.
The pocket goblin.
That's it.
I'm just one of those people. I'm a shithouse player, and then I just find something I'm good at, and then just people are like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah. Where did that come from?
I'm like that, and like
I'm just really good at bullying men.
Well, applied technology. But yeah, like I have stuff like that, but then I'm not consistent even with that thing that I find I'm good at. And then I have real off days, and I'm like, fuck, this isn't working like it usually does. And then I go on a fucking tear, and I'll deny 60 motes in a single game of Gambit. Like, I just become a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not every time, and I kind of wish it was, but also, it's Gambit. I can only care so much about it.
Gambit, actually, a few times we've played Gambit, it's made me realize that I do, just to bounce off Destiny briefly, I do want to get our core team together to play something like Dead by Daylight, or the Friday the 13th game, or even the Evil Dead game, because I think that'd be really funny with the way we play Gambit.
Or,
I think the way we...
Is that the one where like one person is acting as the thing doing the haunting?
I think the way we fuck with other people and we work as a team to just sync up in the fuckery, I think us in a different game like that would be fucking hilarious.
Syncing up in the fuckery is very good way of describing it.
Synchronized fuckery.
Yeah, our fuckery period's got in sync. But someone else is bleeding.
Synchronized interpretive fuckery. Because inside we're all coordinated, but if you are an invader watching us work, we'd look completely unhinged, but we all know what we're doing.
If you overheard our voice comms, it'd be a nightmare case. They're talking about jizz while they're destroying us. This isn't fair.
What is this green and retired the small one keeps talking about? Why is she green?
Why is she saying she's going to come and make us green? What is that? Are we jealous? Are we envious? Like, what is the... Oh, we're dead. Shit.
Yeah, I think that's the funniest thing is when you just hear me go green, and then it's like the enemy killed by Osteostriga.
Yeah, it's the little weapon icon, yeah.
That means man needs to be green.
Fuck.
We've hit the loopy part of the Destiny season. We always, like, towards the end of the season, it's less burnout, but we're not burnt out at all. We still love it.
We're making our own fun.
Yeah, and it's not like we log on and go, ugh. It's just, we hit this weird unhinged period in the last month of every season. We all kind of lose our fucking minds a little bit.
Well, I think part of it is like, you know, you spend the first, well, especially with a new expansion, you spend a lot of time trying to get up to power level again. And then once you hit that, then you can start messing around a bit and getting comfortable again because you're not running everything at like 5 under power, 10 under power and having to work for it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
everything is easy to kill. I'm just going to be a dick. It's a good place to be because then you can like, you know, rely on your abilities and maybe one weapon to do a lot of the work for you. And then you can throw some weird stuff in there, like a blinding grenade launcher and just see what happens.
Your nightmare Taraba build.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Scary.
Exactly. Like I was running that to do some nightmare containments and it was just like, yeah, all I have to do is just keep shooting the same thing and I keep that perk going. And it's fine. And it does a lot of damage. And
Or
it's
me stacking like Osteo or Thorn with necrotics and then just you guys being like, it's a lot of fucking green.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, the other thing
here I come.
The other way I've started playing that that solar build is, so you know how like it's boosting Taraba damage because it's a solar weapon and Path of Burning Steps is just creating this little loop for me. You know what else is a solar weapon? Is Xenophage. So what I've been doing is solar SMG, stack up a few ad kills, and then start hitting motherfuckers with Xenophage for like 100k a shot. And just bang, bang, bang. And that perk lasts for like all of 5 seconds, but I can get a few shots out in that time. And
yeah,
just watching the health bar just go chunk, chunk, chunk. Okay, this feels good.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, and then I go into my super and I start throwing hammers, and every time I get a kill with a hammer, it makes the hammers do more damage. And if I stand in the sunspot,
more damage.
Yeah, it just keeps going. Like everything's on fire now.
And that's the exciting thing about 3.0, just to tie it back in. It's like, I'm excited to find those kind of fucked up builds.
Well, the other one is using the helmet mod harmonic siphon, which is multi-kills with a weapon matching the damage type of your super, generates an orb of power. So my solar build is running only solar weapons, including a kinetic weapon with osmosis. So I throw a grenade, and now that weapon is also solar. And so I'm like spitting out orbs, and people are picking those up and getting super, and I'm getting them as well, and that stuff is really fun. So like actually running weapons that match your subclass still matters, maybe more than it used to. But then, you know, you go into a match game activity, it's different. But yeah, I'm very excited for build crafting in a week.
Yeah.
Just doing cook shit with lightning. And Thunderlord's going to have anti-barrier.
Yep.
Thunderlord is back on the menu. Yes. What other Arc exotics? We've got Risk Runner, Trinity Ghoul, Anarchy, maybe, Cloud Strike, Legend of Acreus, Big Shotgun. What else is Arc? What was that exotic sidearm this season? Trespasser? That's going to be a menace, actually. That is a really good one. Shit. Anything with osmosis.
Trying to like see
dude,
what kind of...
Dude, Traveler's Chosen, kinetic sidearm.
Yeah.
Catalysted, with the catalyst it gets osmosis and full auto. So it becomes an arc weapon. But when you get kills and then deplete its charge, you get your abilities charged back up. Okay. I've got ideas.
Cold Heart?
Maybe. That really should be a stasis
Divinity.
weapon.
It really should. It's called Cold Heart.
Divinity. Oh, that's Arc,
Div is Arc. And then we'll go to the heavy. Darcy's arc.
Yeah, maybe.
Grand Overture is arc.
Oh no, is it?
The Queen Breaker is arc. Bitch, Queen Breaker. It's one of my favorite guns.
Yeah. Grand Overture might be actually pretty interesting.
Prospector.
Like Grand Overture already does a lot of damage once you charge it up. With Arc 3.0, who knows what's possible?
Crown of Tempest for the Warlocks for the Helm is going to come back into play. Just looking at its kind of like by nature and by design, I think that's going to become a huge
more. Maybe Mantle of Battle Harmony is worth another look.
It's also got things like conduction tines and like 350% additional base grenade melee and super regeneration rate, 44% slower super drain.
I guess like any of those exotics that tie into specific arc abilities for certain classes will probably get tweaked in the same way that other stuff did for the other reworks.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a matter of like, QA happened, but you don't really know until... Oh, I accidentally started Ava in the background. I closed Dim and then Netflix was the next tab, so Opera was like, yes.
It's like, so Ava?
All I hear is, no. I'm like, oh. So it's like it's one of those things where obviously like QA has been happening, people have been talking about it, just being like, ooh, playing with it in the sandbox has been a lot of fun. But like when it gets into the community's hands, that's when we're going to start to see the tweaking happening. Yeah. I don't think they'll necessarily nuke something from the jump. They'll probably need to see how it's being utilized before they decide. So you might see things where Crown of Temperance is a little bit OP or does cause certain aspects to be OP. But obviously they'll be tweaking after that. I mean, some of the solar exotics got a fair few tweaks over the months.
It's also like the thing we have to keep in mind is at the end of the first week. So like 3 days into the new season in the first week, there's a new raid and a world's first race. And I wonder if we'll see a hotfix before that, or if they're just going to let it run and do the thing they did with Vow, which was say like these very specific things are disabled for day one raid.
Yeah.
If it comes up and it's bad enough, they're like, oh, that would actually like just cheapen the entire encounter.
That's something too that I think the community needs to remember is like it's hotfixes and tweaks and buffs and nerfs don't always come because of numbers. Sometimes they come because of how something's being used.
Yeah.
The application. It's not always just, it's proccing big crits. It's also a matter of like how and where it's being used that will affect a tweak. And I think a lot of people forget that.
Something, right?
I think a lot of people forget that. Like they jump into PvP and they go, ooh, this thing crit me, we'll patch it, fix it. And then it's like, well, no, it's not going to get fixed because like, it doesn't need to be. Well, sorry.
A lot of the time it's like, oh, you were running in there with like minimal damage resistance. You got hit in
the fucking face with a supercharged weapon. Like it's gonna happen, homie.
They had these buffs which meant they did this much damage and you had nothing to counter it. That's just getting beaten. That's not overpowered. And
then people go into a raid and discover a broken weapon combination, and it gets nuked, and people are like, oh, and Bungie have to be like, that's not how we intended it to work. No. You just found a way to make it do that.
Yeah, you found something we didn't because there are more of you than there are of us.
Yeah. And also we've got, 6 to 8 months to play test this thing? Potentially.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, seasons are 3 months long, so probably less than that. For seasonal content. I mean, the Arc 3.0 has probably been on the burner for a while.
Yeah, but like 6 months with 100 play testers compared to 6 days with millions of players. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Farm your farm, just play the fucking game.
and also, like, it might seem annoying or frustrating for like a day or a week, but remember that this game has existed for years and will continue to do so. So it's really not that big of a deal.
It's easy to get annoyed, but then I always remember there is some cheeky shit in the game that I get away with. that probably shouldn't be working the way I get it to work.
You know what I've just
But I'm not going to
remembered?
say anything because I'm a goblin and I like the way the green do the thing.
Yeah, the thing I'm going to need to test out with Arc 3.0 is my weird Turbo Thunder Crash thing.
Oh, yes.
Mainly because I've never seen anyone else do it, mainly because of how fucking unwieldy it is. But I don't know if that's going to still be possible. Because, I mean, the melee will still be a tool. Thunder Crash will still be a tool. I will be able to combine them.
How they continue to interact.
Well, it's whether or not they're reworking either of those and the physics of how they move and activate. Because I would like to still be able to do that because it's very funny, if not really unusable. There's like 2 or 3 times I've ever used it where it's actually been the right choice and not just, haha, check this out, it's funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, for the most part, it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, the times when it's been worthwhile is crossing a map in Gambit and crossing a map in PvP Mayhem because it was funny.
Yeah,
that's
just big shithead hours.
Like flying off the map in PvP to then fly back in and just nuke someone.
Just big shithead hours.
Yeah, but generally, it just is so hard to control. Because mid-animation, you are still moving and you cannot cancel that. And you have to line it up so perfectly.
You've just got to commit.
Pretty
Full
much.
send.
Yes. But I will be looking forward to testing that out because also Arc 3.0 is all about boosting mobility and getting you moving faster. So,
yeah, that's going to be fun. That's... It means a lot of people are going to be able to pull their stats out of mobility too and funnel them into some other fucked shit like discipline and just grenade recharge. Just fucking...
or more people running high res builds and getting like 40% damage reduction. Because Arc sounds like it's going to be forcing you into engagements, forcing you to run at enemies. So damage resistance is maybe not a bad call.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of blinding effects being added, which I'm very curious about.
Yeah, I was going to say, you love a good old flashbang.
It was like, honestly, when we were doing early duality runs, one of the biggest brain moves to help us get through
those blinding nades
on the Colossus. Yeah, because we're trying to hit a bell. We've got 2 of these Colossuses firing their rounds at us, pushing us off maps and killing us. And I was like, oh, what if while I'm running, I just flick a blinding grenade over at them? Oh, cool. Now we can just get out of here. And it's that kind of stuff that gets you through like day 1 raid races. Like blinding grenades are huge when you're under power.
New dungeons.
Exactly. And so that's something that I've only picked up in the last 3 to 6 months is blinding grenades and being like, I don't need damage, I need control. I need you to just stop shooting me so I can leave. And it works.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like a bunch of abilities that do blinding, and if you're like surrounded by enemies, there's weird interactions, and oh man, so pumped. So pumped. I just have to gild my dredge in this week.
I'm just excited because I managed to weasel my way into having the 23rd off, or the 24th off.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and get up early for the showcase and then let the servers reset and then jump in and have a go.
Yeah, like trying to get in at reset would be rough because you'll have to like download everything and then you probably have server queues. Even if it's for like an hour, that's still like 3 a.m.
So it's like,
us.
I was going to say, go to bed at 8, get up at 12 or 1 or whenever it is, watch the showcase, go back to bed for another hour and a half, jump up at 6 a.m. because I don't want to throw off my sleeping pattern anyway, and then just...
Yeah. Dude,
for once be one of the first people to play the content.
I think as much as it's going to hurt me for work the next day, I think I want to watch that showcase live like we did the last one and just like hang out in Discord.
Yeah.
And just like react to the shit together. Because that is still some of the best times is like we're all seeing this stuff for the first time. Like when we boot up Beyond Light or Witch Queen for the first time, we're running through that campaign and we're just like, oh shit. It's all new, it's all different, and we're losing our fucking minds together.
Will this showcase make me cry? Like the other one did?
Well, okay, so the last one was also right before they did all the 30th anniversary stuff, so they had a fair bit more to pack in there that might make you cry.
They did some community stuff and like recap stuff for Beyond Light too, which made me
Yeah.
do the little sniffles.
I reckon they will probably throw some community stuff in there. Because, there's been a fair bit going on with the community. They did all the charity emote stuff with that guy and his dog Artemis, and there's been a few things around that they could
more diversity clubs.
Very much throw in there and make us all happy cry at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck me up. What am I going to do? Go to work the next day? Yeah. And be tired. It's fine. It'll be a Wednesday.
The glory of working from home.
Yes. I'm going to watch this fucking thing for an hour, go to bed, and then drink a lot of coffee.
Mm-hmm. So much fun, big stuff coming.
Yes. And on that note, we should get out of here because I've got to edit this tonight before I drive 2 hours out of town tomorrow for the weekend. So that's been Erico Blueberry for Season of the Haunted. That's a wrap on the season, on this week, this episode.
Next time we'll be talking, it'll be post-showcase.
Post-showcase, post-season kickoff. I'm going to have to go pick a new color to put on the thumbnails for the text. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've changed the color every season. So we've gone green, then we've gone red, and who knows what next season's theme is, because we still don't know what the season's called. I'm going to say...
Season of the Wet Slap, and it's just me unpowered mailing.
Okay.
Where are we going with things?
So we've gone...
Season of the Harbinger.
We had... What was the first season with Witch Queen? Was it Risen? Was that it? Season of the Risen?
Like that.
Risen, Haunted... Season of...
It's in the vein of like reanimating and like...
Or is it,
you know
though?
what I mean?
It could be like it's the third out of the fourth season for the year. Maybe it's like a bit of a divergence. Like Splicer was a bit of a side story in a way.
Season of... Where's the story going?
Well, we've just had this big callus reveal.
Season of the Harbinger. For some reason, it's just like, it's catchy and it's sticking in my head. And that's a word that's been used a lot. And then the previous season, they talked about haunting shit a lot. So
it would be one of the first times they've gone like back to back with story content rolling over between seasons, like rolling into the next season.
Season of the really happy fun time. Everyone's A-okay.
Season of the orgy, and everybody just fucks.
Oh no. Season of the ooky spooky. It's a full Halloween season.
We do have Festival of the Lost during this season, but we just have Season of the Haunted. I don't know. Trying to think of something that's like vague enough that I'll get close. So
like my bonfire prediction, and I was like, "See, I told you."
Well, yeah. That one's a little bit more informed because you know what Solstice's vibe is going to be. I don't know.
Season of the Maxi Bon.
Ooh.
Season of the Twilight Eclipse.
It's hoe season, baby. Let's go.
Season of Hot Girl Summer.
Yeah. All right.
Season of Hot Human Summer. It's inclusive. Everyone get your shorts out.
Hot Guardian Summer.
Yeah, everyone get your shorts out.
Your
midriff tops and your shorts.
Season of the jorts.
I want to see buff titans in crop tops.
Yes. No, I'm going to go with something that's like close to this idea of like Saladin's gone off to become, what is it, Brachus Forge, Valus Forge. He's gone all like ritual combat, trial by combat. It's going to be like, I don't know, Season of the Gladiator. Something that's all about like Fight Club, essentially.
Season of the Reclamation.
Season of Sadness.
Season of the spiciest mayonnaise.
Season of Sriracha.
Season of.
I'm a white guy. I can't do spice.
Season of Jello in the pasta salad.
Ooh, a season of edamame. Let's get out of here because we could just keep doing this all night. We'll be back next week. New episode of ECB. New season of Destiny 2. New Arc 3.0. New phone Who Dis. We'll see you then. Hit all the buttons.
Follow us
Tell a
on
friend.
our socials.
That's it.
Come to my socials where it's season of the big titty goth girlfriend all year round.
Yes. Mine is not. Don't bother with me. I'm just
season of Screaming into the Abyss.
That I can promise you.
Season of the Abyss. Ooh, bitch.
That's pretty good.
This season, you stare into the abyss and it stares back. Oh no.
Zer turns into a Cthulhu monster. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.
See ya, bye. Give your mom a kiss for me.